Here's our fifth and last practice problem for this video. It's a bit of a marathon one because, as you can see, we have to find the measures of all the unlabeled angles, and we're only given the measure of one angle, angle A. Alright, so first off, again, you should notice that we have two parallel lines, and notice that we've been given the measure of angle A. So the first thing I always do is look for the angles that I know are going to be congruent, because that means you don't actually have to do any math. You just know what they're going to end up equaling. So first off, you should always notice vertical angles. We know that A and D are going to be vertical angles, so the measure of angle A will equal the measure of angle D, which means that the measure of angle D will equal 78 degrees. Now, we also know that A and E are corresponding angles, so we know that A and E are going to be congruent. So the measure of angle A will equal the measure of angle E, which means that the measure of angle E will also equal 78 degrees. We also know that A and G are alternate exterior angles, and alternate exterior angles are congruent. So we know that the measure of angle A will equal the measure of angle G, which means that the measure of angle G will equal 78 degrees. Okay. Now, we're going to have to start using things like linear pairs. So we know that A and C are a linear pair. So we know that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle C will equal 180 degrees, which we can then write as 78 plus C equals 180. Subtract 78 from both sides, and we'll end up with the measure of angle C equaling 102 degrees. Now you should notice that C and B are vertical angles, which means that the measure of angle C will equal the measure of angle B, which means that the measure of angle B will equal 102 degrees. So now we've got all the measures for the bottom block, A, B, C, and D, and we've got the measures for G and E. So we just have to find the measures for angle H and F. Well, we know that B and H are alternate exterior angles, which means that B and H have the same measure. So the measure of angle B will equal the measure of angle H, which means that the measure of angle H will equal 102 degrees. And for our last one, we know that H and F are vertical angles, which means that the measure of angle H will equal the measure of angle F, meaning that the measure of angle F will also be 102 degrees. Now when it comes to a problem like this, where there are so many different angles, there are a lot of different strategies you can take, different methods you'd be able to use. You wouldn't necessarily have to solve it exactly like this, but you should always end up with the angles equaling exactly what we found here. So, good luck on the future with your geometry homework.